Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our county, and of those whose interests you've committed to our church. Amen. Kindly take us through the order of the day, clerk.
The Third Assembly, Fourth Session, Order Paper number 309 of today, Wednesday, 4th June 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Order number 1, Administration of Oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, Communication from the Chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, Messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, Petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, Papers.
Next order.
Order number 6, Notices of Motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, Statements.
The Honorable Leader of Majority. Next order.
Commencement of business. Order number 8, motion on the adoption of the report of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the county as a whole by the Honorable Ruben Rakwach.
Yes, the Honorable Ruben Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And honorable members, I wish to state that the report is on our wall, and members, I hope, have gone through it. Those who may have not gone through it, I think they can go through it now, but I'll go through the moving notes of the same report on the matter of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the county of Kisumu as a whole by the Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works. Mr. Speaker, sir, and honorable members, the committee extends its gratitude to all stakeholders who participated in the proceedings. Their cooperation and contribution have been invaluable in compiling this report. Additionally, the committee expresses its appreciation to the offices of the Speaker and the Clerk of the Assembly for the unwavering support which has been instrumental in enabling the committee to fulfill its duties effectively. May I also take this opportunity and thank members and secretary of the Standing Committee for their tireless commitment in consideration of the statement. On behalf of the committee and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 193.5 It's my duty and privilege to present to the County Assembly the committee's report on statement sought by Honorable Ken Ooko in regards to the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the County of Kisumu as a whole. The report focuses on the statement delivered by Honorable Ken Ooko, the member of County Assembly, representing Ahero Ward regarding the issue of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the wider County of Kisumu. The statement was made during a session of the Assembly as part of the ongoing efforts to address pressing infrastructure issues affecting the county. In this statement, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Ooko invoked Standing Order number 41, Part 2B, a procedural rule that allows a member of County Assembly to formally request a statement from the relevant committee within the County Assembly. Through this invocation, he sought the intervention of the Committee on Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works to investigate the ongoing issue of non-functional streetlights and floodlights, not only in Ahero Ward but also across the entire county. This request underscored the MCA's concern for the safety and well-being of the public, as functioning streetlights are crucial for ensuring security and providing visibility, particularly in areas with high pedestrian activities at night. In his statement, Honorable Ooko outlined several key concerns and sought clarity from the committee on the following points. One, the specific reasons behind the failure of streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the entire county. The Honorable Member requested the committee to thoroughly investigate the underlying causes of the non-functioning lights. Two, any immediate and or long-term interventions being undertaken to restore the functionality of these lighting systems. Honorable Kennedy Ooko sought information on the current efforts being made by the county government through the Department of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works to address the problem. Three, specific timelines for the restoration of each individual lighting installation, ensuring transparency and accountability. In this one, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Member called for clear and specific timelines for the restoration of each lighting installation. He emphasized the importance of transparency and accountability in the process, requesting that the County Assembly and the public be kept informed about the progress of the repairs and restoration efforts. Under observations, Honorable Speaker, the committee deliberated extensively on the statement raised by Honorable Kennedy Ooko regarding the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and throughout the county. After a thorough discussion, the committee resolved to request a comprehensive report from the Department of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works to obtain a detailed understanding of the situation. The report was expected to address the various causes behind the failures and outline the steps being taken to rectify the situation. Once the report was submitted and reviewed, the committee made the following observations. One, widespread failure across the county. The committee noted that the issue of non-functional street lights and floodlights was not isolated to Ahero Ward alone. Several other areas within the county were similarly affected, indicating a broader infrastructure challenge that requires urgent attention. Two, maintenance and repair delays. Honorable Speaker, one of the primary observations was the significant delay in maintenance and repair of streetlights and floodlights. The committee found that many lights had been non-functional for extended periods due to the delayed or inadequate repairs, which in turn impacted public safety. Number 3, power supply and electrical faults. The report highlighted that inconsistent power supply and electrical faults were contributing factors to the failure of many streetlights and floodlights. These interruptions in the power supply further hindered the functionality of the lighting systems, especially in areas with unreliable grid connections. Number 4, budget constraints. Committee identified budgetary constraint as another major factor impeding the proper maintenance and functioning of streetlights and floodlights. There was insufficient funding allocated for both repairs and installation of new lighting system, leading to backlog of unresolved issues. I think this one is evident even in the ongoing budget that we have. The department only has around 39 million for operations and maintenance. And even the areas that are earmarked for new installation of floodlights, you will see that it is not that sufficient. Then number 5, lack of coordination and monitoring. The committee found that there was lack of effective coordination between the relevant departments responsible for managing street lighting infrastructure. Number 6, Honorable Speaker, the refusal of service providers to take up jobs. The committee established that the department had encountered challenges in securing services from providers who are reluctant to take up jobs due to delayed payments for completed work or failure to settle outstanding payment. So I think this is the issue of a pending bill, Honorable Speaker. A situation, sometimes there is a situation in the department whereby the job has been taken by the service provider, but they fail to show up to do the maintenance. And at times also there might be an advert, but no service provider bids for it. And when they are asked, they talk of fear for non-payment or delayed payment. Under recommendations, Honorable Speaker, the committee recommends the following. 1, adequate budget allocations for street light maintenance and repair. The department, to ensure a sufficient and consistent allocation of funds within the county's budget to effectively support the ongoing maintenance, repair, and replacement of street lights. This will ensure the longevity of the lighting infrastructure and help maintain public safety throughout the county. Regular monitoring and evaluation of lighting infrastructure. The department to conduct routine assessments and inspections of both streetlights and floodlights across the county. These evaluations should include checks for malfunctioning lights, energy efficiency, and overall performance to ensure the lighting systems are functioning optimally, and to identify areas in need of repair and upgrade. Number 3, employment of qualified personnel for infrastructure maintenance. The department should hire and train adequate number of qualified professionals, including electrical engineers, electrical technicians, and artisans to oversee the installation, maintenance, and repair of lighting infrastructure. This will help ensure timely responses to any technical issues and extend the lifespan of the lighting system. Because of the failure of the service providers to take up all their fare, Honorable Speaker, the committee thought that if this one is done, then we can have an internal mechanism of maintaining these lights without involving the other services providers. And number 4, establishment of Kisumu County Energy Bill. This bill will provide a legal framework for the creation of a dedicated fund account for the maintenance and repair of lighting infrastructure in the county. The bill will also help in creation of a unit to oversee the installation, maintenance, and repairs of the lighting infrastructure, and also collaborate with the national government agencies that deals with the energy, such as REREC, for improvement of energy infrastructure in the county. I think if this one is done, then there will also, the funds will be readily available for this, the funds will be readily available for this maintenance. Okay. Honorable Speaker, we have annexures in the main report of the affected areas, the documents that we received from the Department of Roads. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, I urge the honorable members to support this report, and I ask Honorable Jennifer Obonyo to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, now that the motion adoption of a report of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero ward and the county as a whole has been moved, seconded, I want to propose a question, and I propose that the motion is open for debate. Honorable Ruben Rakwach. Poiton, I thought you wanted to add something. Poiton, proceed.
Honorable Speaker. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to support the report that has been moved by Honorable Ruben Rakwach. Mr. Speaker, sir, before I give reasons of supporting this motion, I want to say that I thank Honorable Ken Ooko for bringing this statement. But again, I recall very well, Honorable Speaker, that sometimes in 2023, I, Ratib Ahmed Boyton, member of County Assembly representing Nyalenda A Ward, brought the same statement with the same prayers. And it was tabled in this assembly and approved. Honorable Speaker, since 2023, up to date, we have not seen implementation of what was approved in this county assembly. The recommendations were more or less the same. But again, to our surprise, is that the Department of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works did not do anything. This makes us worry that even if today we pass or we approve today's report, what will happen? Will it be swept under the carpet and nothing happens? If that is the case, why do we even approve reports in this house? Because the basic of approving reports here, because we want implementations to be done. Honorable Speaker, it is absurd that most of the departments are taking us for a ride. And if something is not done, then the business will be just as usual. Honorable Rakwach mentioned one of the causes of lack of power in our streets and the floodlights. There's no maintenance and no repairs. This is the sole mandate of the department to do repairs and maintenance of these street lights and floodlights. I think they should be held to task as why maintenance and repairs are not done. Though I don't agree with cause number 2. They said one of the causes is also non-payment power supply. This needed proper explanation or elaboration. How is power supply becoming makes our street lights not to be functioning? The main reason, Honorable Speaker, apart from vandalism that are being done by the people, is payment of power bills. A number of floodlights, the bills are not being settled by the department. And if the Kenya Power disconnect power, what do you expect? Honorable Speaker, the department should be serious. Another observation that they have made is recruitment of professionals to do the routine maintenance. This may be okay. But again, we all know and we all aware this county is struggling with wage bill. Can the department come clear, tell us that they lack professionals to do the maintenance. And what are they doing with the available resource, human resource that they have? I want to support the creation of Bay coming up with Kisumu County Energy Bill, that if properly put in place, then some of the issues that are causing our county to lack power in our streets and in our floodlights will be regulated from an anchored law. So, Honorable Speaker, I support this motion, but again I say categorically that implementation, if it was not done in 2023, I don't see any reason why it will be done this time. The department should be serious in handling matters that are coming from the floor of this House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I submit.
Honorable Mildred.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was very keen when the chairperson of the Committee of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works was reading the observation. And one of the observations, I just want to pick it out, is talking of lack of coordination and monitoring. Mr. Speaker, we all know, some of us, when we came to this assembly in 2022, September, some of our areas within our wards, the street lights or the floodlights were not functional. Up to now, one of my areas in Riyadh, it's not captured here, Riyadh Market, when I came in as the area MCA, the floodlights had gone off, only one bulb was working. I have severally talked to the ward admin because he says every week he writes a report to the Department of Energy. And every week he does reports and any other ward admins in this part of the county. This department is, the committee is talking about lack of coordination and monitoring. Yet, many of us, when we came in, our floodlights or our street lights were not working. The department is aware because every week they receive reports. Most of the MCAs here brought reports. They've brought statements on floodlights and street lights. I want to thank our majority leader. Some of the observation also made was that they have budget constraints and insufficient funding. Yes, it is true. The department has insufficient funding because even the machine-based, they also don't have funding. It is the same department that also has insufficient funds to repair and maintain our street lights and our floodlights. The recommendations done by the committee is also complaining, and they're even talking of employing qualified personnel. This same committee is talking of this same department employing qualified personnel when the street lights are not working and floodlights. I'm wondering if they employ permanent and pensionable personnel. Assuming the floodlights have been maintained and you've been employed to maintain the floodlight, what will you do for the rest of the year that the floodlights are working? I do not agree with that recommendation that we employ qualified personnel because we are the same people talking of budget constraints. We are the same people talking about the wage bill. Yet small things like just changing a bulb from a street light, you want the department to employ permanent and pensionable staff. Mr. Speaker, I really don't trust some of the recommendations that are done by this committee, that they are suggesting that adequate funding should be channeled to this department so that they can replace the street lights and the floodlights. We all know the budget constraints this financial year we are going through, and it is true that even if I support these street lights or these floodlights will not be replaced because it is common sense, there's no money. It is true the monitoring and evaluation team, yes, they have the reports of the street lights and floodlights that are not working. So, Mr. Speaker, I'm not very okay with this report because I know nothing will be done. No implementation will be done, Mr. Speaker. I do not support this report. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to first take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Kennedy Oko for having brought this statement to this House. Madam Speaker, practically speaking, we have a serious challenge in terms of floodlights and street lighting in our areas. Mr. Speaker, when I came to this House in 2022, when I was still very strong then, I can confirm that I did go through my ward and mercilessly repaired all the floodlights that I found not to be working, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and I spent some quite good colossal amount of money by just recruiting a temporary basis, just a simple electrician at home, just around in my ward, who went through all this and had all this repaired at a cost from my pocket, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, if you look at this report, the response that the department is giving, there is a lot of linguistic, too much linguistic about it. And when they say, for example, that the department has made several attempts to have this lighting infrastructure maintained for the past 3 years without success. Mr. Speaker, how can a whole department with all the technocrats available from the CEC of the department give us a statement like this? Mr. Speaker, it shows that there must be some things that they simply do not want to do. Mr. Speaker, they also go ahead and tell us that a framework advert for maintenance of the lights has been seriously affected because of poor response of bidders. According to the PPDA, the 114, a minimum of 7 alternative vendors are required for a framework agreement. Each time an advert is done, we get extremely poor response that cannot qualify for a framework contract. In the financial year 2021-2022, they are saying that indeed they got some contractors who did the tendering, but they're saying in 2022-2023, after 2 failed adverts, we managed to board 2 contractors on the 3rd attempt, namely Nyando Power Technique, and who rejected the work even after award of the PLO. Mr. Speaker, this would have been, I consider this to be a deliberate attempt not to have a proper agreement. Mr. Speaker, even if I could be requested to give, to participate in such kind of a tender of just repairing the floodlights within the county, Mr. Speaker, I would just do that running, because these are working infrastructure that only need, not new installations, but only maintenance. I'm sure with a properly designed, with qualified people, a properly designed tender, nobody can reject that. And if the response is telling us that they have done those adverts, even the awards that they've been given, people are not going again to respond and even give back the acceptance letter. It means there is some fundamental flaws with that particular advert or with that particular tender, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, in as much as I want to support this motion, because I know where we are going to have the catch-22. Now I'm saying this as a member of the implementation committee. My chair is here of the implementation committee. We want to take up this matter and make sure that we want to see all the floodlights in all our wards up and running. Mr. Speaker, if it doesn't work then, I don't know, I don't want to preempt what should happen to us, but I hope that I want to support this, and the catch-22 is going to be with the implementation committee. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to support.
Bill.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the Majority Leader for a statement that he brought to this assembly on lights in this county. Mr. Speaker, I also want to thank the Chair for Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works, Honorable Ruben Rakwach, for reading us this document. I'm saying that because I don't want to qualify it as a report fit to be read in this assembly for very many reasons. Because, Mr. Speaker, I expected the Chair, in reading this report, to give us something that is very detailed and something that shows us direction as an assembly, something that we can, after some few period, follow up. But clearly, there's nothing. I'm saying this because if you look at the observations that we have, everything is pointing towards his last recommendation of establishing a Kisumu County Energy Bill. Because if you talk about maintenance and repair delays, if you talk about the budget constraints, if you talk about the lack of coordination and monitoring, all that points to establishing Kisumu County Energy Bill. And we must agree, as honorable members, that this shows that it is really right for us as a county to have this bill. And so I expected from this document that we are going to have at least the Chair to tell us the committee is working on a bill and we should operate within some specific timelines, at least to give us hope as a county that there's something we are going to do. But clearly from this report, I can tell all that we have here is a story, well written, without mistakes. And I really want to urge all the committees. The other day we had a report that members didn't see fit to pass. Same to this, I really don't see serious work being done here. So I want to urge as members, in the spirit of making this house honorable as it is, let us not pass this document until we have the timelines in which we are going to get the bill, and let us work within some specific rules that at least we can follow as honorable members, that within a particular period we are going to have the bill so that this can run. Because if we want to blame the executive for a bill that we have not done, because you can't expect them to do some other things here, because now we should be talking of recurrent expenditure that we have maybe 4 or 5 employees of the county government that are working to do the repairs, and they are being paid this specific amount of money. We should be talking about what they have not done. But telling us all this, I believe it's not right. And the committee, I ask you to do another work that will make this house look really honorable. Thank you, Chair. I reject the report.
Deputy Leader Majority.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report. Mr. Speaker, this House should be honest with themselves. We have what is called RAREC that has partnership with the so-called Kisumu County. We were supposed to give 35 million, then we benefit 35 million. 2023, that budget was appropriated. 2024, it was never there. Why? Because the first 35 million was not, or paid rather. They did not ask. Just the other day, the department for energy. A window, negotiate and benefit from the same fund. But members again refuse and even said that 35 million should not be paid. We are talking about lack of funding. It is you members.
On a point of order, Honorable Speaker.
It is you members that appropriate.
What is the point of order, Honorable Seth?
Honorable Speaker, under statement of facts. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Deputy Majority Leader is alluding that members refused for some money to be paid to REREC. I, being a member of this assembly, I have never refused for any money to be paid to anyone. So could he come out clear and tell us which members refused? And if he doesn't know the members, I wish that he apologizes to me because I have never refused for payment of any money anywhere. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Lumumba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When we met Department of Roads as committee members, in that committee, the members of the committee refused to approve fund for 35 million of money. That one, I stand to confirm here that what happened. As it is in the budget for 2025-2026, the members of the committee, some of them, refused to approve that 35 million for RAREC. So there is not going to be even RAREC. So when you are talking of less funding, and yet you do not want to approve funding, that is you to blame. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Ouko.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand here to support the report from the relevant committee. Mr. Speaker, so far to this extent, we have known where the rain started beating us. It is just through this report that we are now aware of where we were and actually where we are going to. Mr. Speaker, in 2023, we had a similar report. And we had the same recommendations. Mr. Speaker, it is unfortunate that when the report is brought to the Assembly, maybe we don't take note of the recommendations. This will prevent repetitions of this kind of scenario where we are repeating the same recommendations without action in place. Mr. Speaker, for one, this is a house of lamentation. Because we have all the powers to oversight the executive. And in no way have we ever experienced any kind of interference from the executive to stop the oversight role. Mr. Speaker, I don't know who should now be complaining to who. Because we must stand tall to be counted as the House. You know, we keep on lamenting and we don't act on this. I don't know
what
whether
is it, Honorable Midred?
Mr. Speaker, is it right for Honorable Kennedy to say this house is a house of lamentations?
Honorable Kennedy.
Mr. Speaker, truly, this report once appeared here in 2023. And we did nothing on it. It is now back to this house again. We are still lamenting on how to move forward, what to do. This is lamentation, really. What do we call it?
Honorable Kennedy.
Call it a praise?
Honorable Kennedy, the question from Honorable Mildred is it the house or the report?
The house is made of members, Mr. Speaker. And before you are ruling, because you have never ruled anything, it is still the members of the assembly. We are now debating here, and you hear, Mr. Speaker, it is full of lamentations. The best thing, if we want to move ahead, is to bring an amendment on the report so that we move, instead of calling for some other things which are not relevant. Mr. Speaker, it is the executive to come up with a policy. Now we go into the act. Now we do regulations. Have we done that? To ring-fence whatever we want to do with the energy? We have never done that. But now who are you blaming? And we are the people who are in charge of making laws. We should run ahead so that now when we complain to the executive, we have something now to talk on. But really for now, before we do that, before we do the bills, we are now, it is like we are complaining for no apparent reason. Let us stand up and be counted members of the County Assembly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sad.
Under statement of fact, Mr. Speaker, we are actually debating, there is no doubt that we are debating a report which has been brought before this House. Even personally, I have also contributed. I have not complained. So let it not go on record. My Honorable Ouko says we are lamenting. We are not lamenting, Mr. Speaker. We are just debating the motion which has come before this House. And it was only procedural that he debates according to what he can understand from this report. Not actually, in fact, he's the one who is lamenting. He is not even referring to the report, and then he wants to insinuate that we are all lamenting. Thanks, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Uko, this is house of debate, not of lamentation. And I have checked my records. Not all members have spoken. So you need to withdraw that word and use the appropriate word.
Mr. Speaker, many of the people like polishing issues. They want to appear as if they have solutions to problems, but at the same time, they don't have such kind of solutions. Mr. Speaker, if it is good, let us come up with solutions to these problems. And not lamentations, the way he is still lamenting.
Honorable Ouko, I have directed you that you withdraw the word lamentation.
Mr. Speaker, through your directive, I withdraw.
Honorable Emily, I've noticed you, Honorable Kelvin.
Gender. Sit.
Honorable Kelvin, I noticed that fast. So there is no biasness. I'll give you, I promise. That I said, I've noticed you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for respecting gender, the minority gender. Mr. Speaker, I would like to disagree with this report, even though it's a very good report that with very good recommendations. But the reason why I disagree with it is because, just like Honorable Ouko just mentioned, that in April 2027, we had a similar report tabled in this house. We had time to discuss this report very well, I remember so well. And we made very good recommendations to the department. The same chair again sits down and again calls the department to ask them the same questions which were asked in the previous report. I think it would have been just prudent for the chair to call the department and find out what they actually did with the previous recommendations of a similar case. So, Mr. Speaker, I think in our committees, I think we need to be more proactive. I don't think it's wise for us to keep on discussing the same issues over and over again. In as much as we make good recommendations, but we find that we have a problem of implementation of these recommendations. So it could have been just one of the best ways to find out the progress of the recommendations made in 2023 in line with what was brought to the House recently. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, I don't support this report.
I had promised to give Honorable Kelvin, but I've seen you, Honorable Pamela. So Kelvin, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for granting this opportunity so that I can also speak on the said report. I'm a member of that committee presenting the report, and I understand the report very well and explain the details as we discussed as a committee. And I think I'll borrow from what Honorable Ken Uko was saying, that as Assembly, we should be seen to be giving direction, but not always complaining, if I avoid using the word lamenting. We tend to complain much. And Honorable Billy was like even throwing the to the committee so that we make the energy bill. As a committee, we suggested that we need an energy bill, whereby from the bill, most of the things could be addressed. Because some of these repairs that you're talking about, dear members, they are not that expensive. There's a floodlight in Ofunyu, which actually needs around 120,000. Can you procure for 120,000? Can we budget for 120,000? What should be done, or what can we do so that we have a situation whereby we have a fund that can assist doing some of the maintenance, and it is controlled from the board, so that with that limited funds, they can always be doing routine checkup to these lights, these floodlights and the street lights that we have from our various wards. Remember, Mr. Speaker, the headquarters of Kisumu County is located at Kisumu here, and most of the wards are very far away from Kisumu. The office where the department sits cannot know what happened in Orongo in Koloa East today. They cannot even tell what happened in Central Seme today. So in a scenario where we'll be having a proper channel and how those maintenance can be done, then we'll not be crying. You will realize that most of these problems are very simple problems, Mr. Speaker. One of the areas we were complaining about was the issue of budget constraint, then the issue of procurement, and the way things are being. And we are seeing a situation whereby if the department, and I want my colleague Honorable Bill to understand, it is up to the department to come up with policy and come up with a bill. Sometimes members can have a private member bill, like the case of Honorable Regina, but the donkey work is given to the department so that they can see sense. And they come up with policy and bill that can actually help the county in managing the floodlights and the street light. That's why we recommended that one of the areas the department should look at is the energy bill that can create a fund that can enable the county run or manage the street lights, repairs and maintenance, and even other things like bills and many other things that can be paid now directly. But the way things run, when we depend majorly on the allocation from the treasury and we try to follow up with small things, then I'm sure we'll still come back to debate this report when members will be complaining. Mr. Speaker, the issue of insecurity is too much. And one of the things that many women and many people from the village will recommend for those who are doing business is to have floodlights in their various places. But during public participation, you'll realize that floodlight is one of the things that people will be proposing. And we also must look at ways of trying to make them sustainable and to be effective without forcing MCs like Nyaoke had to dig deep inside his pocket to repair a floodlight. I also did for Kunya floodlight, which to me, I think if we make a proper channel, I will not be discussing this report. Finally, it is not all lost. Members have different perception on how they see things. If there is a report that should be adapted in this house and given to implementation committee as recommended by Honorable Nyaoke, it is this report. One of the things that has failed assembly is that we have a very weak committee that is not actually doing its best. That is the implementation committee. If all these recommendations will be passed through the assembly, and the implementation committee sits and give us some of the recommendations from all these committees so that we see what is achievable and they follow up well, Mr. Speaker, will not be blaming any person in this county. But because the committee of implementation is also operating like any other sectoral committee, we are finding ourselves in problem. But since we gave our able chair with gray, we gave our able chair with gray hairs, Mr. Honorable James Omolo, I'm here to see if he's delivering. I'm hoping the first report was rejected last week, and I believe if this one is taken to that committee and he does his work well, we'll be celebrating as a county. So kindly pick up the issue of energy bill. I'm asking my chair of implementation, if this report passes, kindly pick up the issue of energy bill. Let us push so that we can have the bill and the fund created to maintain the floodlight and the street light within the county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support the report.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I stand to support the report. Mr. Speaker, the report is appearing for the second time in this House. That indicates the report is important. And action has not been made. And it means we have to do something to ensure our people are helped. There's a lot of insecurity in these wards, especially in my ward. People are maimed nearly every week because of insecurity. Street lighting and floodlights helps in making visibility possible, and they bring security to areas where they are. And this is a case where we are bringing this report for the second time. I want to recommend or bring an amendment to this report that we come up with action line on what is going to be done after this report has been adopted today. I hope this report is going to be adopted. We need to come up with an amendment on an action line. That these things should be done as soon as yesterday. because our people are going down the drain because of insecurity. I don't think Kisumu County cannot afford to maintain their street lights and even their floodlights. Most of these floodlights are outdated. They cannot be repaired. In my ward, I've even called fundis to pay with my own money to ensure those lights are working. Some of them cannot be repaired. They need to be replaced. So what is this house doing to help us maintain these street lights? It is not business as usual, because if we don't do something this time, this report is going to come back to this floor of the house. We should not just talk and no action is taken. How are we enforcing our laws to ensure we are helped? I want to say the report is important. It is coming up for the second time. Let us not allow it to come up for the third time. Let us come up with an action line and ensure whatever we have ruled is implemented to the letter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, on this report, this is a report that should be embraced by the whole House, and we call for action line, as Honorable Commissioner said. That is when we represent the interest of our people. The Mboga woman in the market needs us to take action on this report. We should not brush off this report. If it is coming up for the second time, that shows how important it is. And what direction are we giving? When you look at this report, it is the department lamenting that they are unable to serve the people of Kisumu County. How can the assembly help them? Read this report. And the action line is, we must ask the Committee of Infrastructure, Energy, that before the budget is concluded, the department must give us the allocation they want for the repair and maintenance of the street light and flood light. That is when we are serious. Because we assume that allocation had been put in the budget year in, year out. And when you look at this report, it's from 2021, 2022, which means the problem could have started before that. 2022, 2023, 2023, 2024, and we are brushing off this report. We must ask for action. And the action is, we want money allocated for these items, so that 2025, 2026, we monitor what the department has done on this. It is unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that Kabonyo Kanyagwal is not appearing in this report as having the same problem. But the problem is there in Kabonyo Kanyagwal. So let us not play about with this report. It has not come up again for nothing. It needs our action. And our action, which is prominent now, financial allocation for this. And we monitor the implementation. Then we represent the interests of our people. And because that has not been included here, Mr. Speaker, I'm asking Mr. Honorable Ojemo, James Ochieng, to second that the allocation, the matter of allocation be included in this report, so that we monitor the implementation.
Honorable Bedi Peteko, you know our standing order is very clear on debate. If there is need to be amendment on the report. I believe now you know how you should bring it. And if you wanted to bring it now, you can ask for leave of the House or leave of the Speaker. But again, it must be clear what you want to amend. Because you are talking of two things. You are talking of creating an action plan. You are also talking of Kabonyo Kanyagwal. So I don't know what you want to be amended. Please, let's adhere to the standing orders on how to propose an amendment.
Honorable Speaker, you are right. But you see, Honorable Speaker, I was given this report just some 20 minutes ago. And I've gone through it, and that is why I'm making this recommendation. I know I ought to have put it in writing 1 hour before and brought to your table for approval. But I was not able to get the report in good time. And the action plan I'm asking is just the financial allocation for this work to be done. The financial allocation for this.
What is the point of order, Honorable Bill?
Mr. Speaker, what Honorable Oiko wants to be amended is already one of the recommendations, the first recommendation of adequate budget allocation. So I don't see the need for that.
Honorable Benny Pete?
That is good. But Mr. Speaker, the enough financial allocation is stated, but the financial year is not referred to in that. So I'm referring to the financial allocation for 2025-2026, so that we are serious.
Okay, so you can reframe what you want to be amended. What is it, Honorable Seth? Okay, Honorable, I get you. If you want the recommendation to be amended, please read what you want it to appear as in the report, and call a seconder. That is just by leave of the House and the Speaker.
I ask that enough financial allocation be given to this department for this work in the financial year 2025-2026, so that we look as serious legislators who want action taken. I'm saying that also, Mr. Speaker, the implementation committee was being referred here, but I've said here several times, at times we step on the toes of the implementation committee. When there was no allocation, what will the implementation committee go to interrogate? So, Mr. Speaker, if that is done, and we monitor that at the budget level, we shall have done good service to our people. Because from this record, the department has also expressed the challenges they are facing, and we need to take action without so many stories. I hope that will be done, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, I want to second what Honorable Iko is saying, and I also have another amendment to bring. It's what he.
Honorable Pamela, resume your seat. Honorable members, I mean, by leave of the House, we had given Honorable Iko an opportunity to propose an amendment, which he proposed that the recommendation number 1, to read adequate budget allocation for street maintenance and repair in the financial year 2025-2026. Am I right, Honorable Benny Iko? Which has been seconded by Honorable Pamela. Honorable Pamela Oyo. I mean, Honorable Pamela, there is no way you can second an amendment and proceed to give another Amendment. Now, our standing order number 52 provides for the process of amendment of a report or a motion. This is how it goes. When it has been seconded, we will stop. I'll propose a question. We will stop debate on the main report and the debate on the amendment. And I will put a question on the proposed amendment. And if you agree with it, then it will form part of the report. And we go back to debate. So I propose, let me start that now that Honorable Beni Pete Oiko has proposed an amendment to the report, and to be specific, recommendation number one, that the recommendation adequate budget allocation for streetlight maintenance and repair be amended to read adequate budget allocation for streetlight maintenance and repair in the financial year 2025-2026. This has been seconded, and I want to propose a question, and I propose that that amendment is open for debate. Honorable James Omolo.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I stand to approve of that amendment. Mr. Speaker, because we can debate here the whole year on the same issue, but if we don't recommend for the allocation and the timeline, then we will be doing nothing. So I highly appreciate that Honorable Iko has brought up this amendment so that we are very specific on which financial year we are talking about this appropriation, so that all our floodlights, and I think they have the data, because it is like all our wards are affected. Maybe few of the wards are not affected, but almost all of them. So we should get the data, then get a specific amount required, and we appropriate, because we are the budget makers of this county, so that this financial year starting 1st of July this year, we can start doing the repairs and maintenance of all our floodlights in the county. So I support that amendment, and I beg to support. Thank you.
Honorable Seth Okumu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to reject the amendment because the report will finally go down. Honorable Speaker, adequate budget makes a lot of English sense. But what is adequate budget? Is it 1 million? Is it 2 million? Is it 5 million? Is it 10 million? How much is adequate? We don't know. Those are some of the reasons that makes me feel that this report needs to be taken back to the committee for further input. Because even if we just write adequate, it's not like this department has never got a budget. They've got a budget. They have procured. They have given people tenders. And then these people refuse. The only reason somebody gets a tender is because there was a budget and it has been confirmed that he can be paid. Then he takes the job and refuses to do it. So when we just write in our report adequate budget, what exactly? Like the chair said, we only have 381 lights, floodlights, and a few street lights. And we gave them opportunity to go and investigate each and every light, know why they are faulty, and come up with figures that can be close to exact on how much is needed for these repairs to be done. Then when we go to the estimates, we know what we are putting in the budget. But when we are just passing English of adequate, we don't know. It's just linguistic. It's the same thing, the same problem that we are putting ourselves in. I think the best thing to do is to allow the committee to go back and get us figures that we can now tell the department that we are giving you this money and we want all the lights to work. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Boyton Ratib.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to oppose this amendment. Just like the way has been put by Honorable Seth, we should be talking about money. the issue of inadequate. Inadequate in what sense? If amendment is to be done, the amendment should be very clear that the last financial year we were given around 2 million for maintenance. And this 2 million is not enough. We need another 2 million to make a total of 4 million. It must be informed. But a blanket and uninformed kind of allocation that is being recommended here, Honorable Speaker, is not viable. Number two, Honorable Speaker, you had a number of members saying that this report is coming for the second time. If this amendment is to be put in place, we need to know that from 2023, how much have they been given in the subsequent years, and how much have they used, and what is the deficit that require amendment, that requires an added allocation. So, Honorable Speaker, this amendment I reject. Thank you.
I think we get two more people, and I put a question. Let me start with Honorable Kelvin Oraro.
Mr. Speaker, I really respect opinion and amendment, but for this amendment, I wanted the move of the amendment to understand that it forced us to accept using the word adequate, because we knew that not all floodlights or the streetlights were brought to our attention then. And we realized that when we try to be specific and say that we need 3 million, then at the end of the day, things don't work well, it will cost us. And to protect that, we even proposed, and that's why we were talking about the energy bill, so that you can have now the department going directly, even using those who are learning, those in attachment, so that they can work without having to procure everything and things become cheaper. With even 2 million, we can repair many floodlights. But because 2 million might be there and the money is procured, and you know the process of procurement and how value of small things are being added, we had to be so smart with our wording, Honorable Oiko. And for that reason, I don't see why I will recommend this amendment of yours, because actually we don't have the budget now. The only thing we can push, and I think the chair of the committee should engage maybe members after or during this period of budget, is that we'll have adequate money enough to do the maintenance. So how much or how adequate it is, I think that will be another thing for professionals to decide. So for that reason, trying to bring amendment that will now destroy the original form of our report, I think it will be dangerous for us to accept the amendment and allow the report to just proceed the way it was. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Sorry, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, just very fast. I really don't see any harm in supporting this amendment, which has been brought in by my senior Honorable Oiko. Mr. Speaker, we are not yet at the point to know whether this motion will be shut down or not. In the meantime, Mr. Speaker, I think it is just appropriate to accept this, because fundamentally, if we support this motion at the end of it all, then we will have something that we can be able to pinpoint that we are talking about the financial year 2025-2026. So for me, I support it, because as I see, we are going to support, Mr. Speaker. This one is it's looking obvious. But then we need to have that amendment so that it will give us a framework on how we shall be able to argue this as we proceed to the financial year 2025-2026. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to support.
Oh, Billy, I said two people, but now that you are already up, can I give you 1 minute?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I also rise to reject the amendment I'm saying this because I still believe that the committee needs to do a lot of work, because after this amendment, you realize that again, in the fourth recommendation, people will be talking about what are the timelines for the bill. So I think if we give the committee time to do enough work, we'll have a clear report that is well detailed with enough figures that we can debate in this house. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Madam.
Honorable Benny, I'm giving you 1 minute to reply.
Honorable Speaker, I've heard the members talk. But when I say we give amendment and adequate allocation, I'm not the one doing that. That goes to the department to do. They're imagining it is Kabojo Kajagwal going to work out the figures. No. The matter is thrown back to the committee. The committee is going to the department to come up with the figures. That is what
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Kelvin, already the mover is replying. What is the point of order?
I want him to understand that after this committee, which committee is he referring to? Implementation of the one, because after passing this.
Honorable Benny.
Honorable Speaker, it is the road, the infrastructure, energy.
On a point of order, Honorable
Infrastructure Committee that is going to do.
Honorable Seth, I gave Honorable Iko 1 minute reply. Point of order.
Honorable Speaker, you know, Honorable Iko is a senior member, a ranking member in the House. He knows the stage where we are with the budget cycle. And I'm wondering when he's saying that we will still have time to go back to the committee, so that the committee goes back to the department, so that we can put a budget on the 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, that's what I wanted him to clarify. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Benny Peto Iko.
Honorable Speaker, what we know, it is possible if we desire so. And when some members don't desire, they will argue the way they argue. But we need to protect our people on the ground. The adequate allocation I'm referring to is going to be worked out by the Department of Infrastructure, Energy, and Public Works. And the committee taking up this matter is the same committee, Infrastructure, Energy, and Public Works. Not Kabonyo Kajagwa.
So,
and this will be for the benefit of our people. That is what I reply, and I beg our people our members to support this.
Honorable members, the Honorable Member Benny Peto Iko has moved an amendment to the report, and to be specific on recommendation number 1, that the words in the financial year 2025-2026 be added to the first recommendation to read adequate budget allocation for street maintenance and repair in the financial year 2025-2026, which has been seconded and debated. And I want to put a question. And I put that as many of the opinion that the proposed amendment by Honorable Benny Peto Iko be approved, say aye. As many of the contrary opinions say nay. The nays have it, and the amendment has been negatived. So, honorable members, we proceed with the debate for those who had not contributed. Honorable Ukoyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I was waiting for this opportunity because, Mr. Speaker, rising up to oppose this report because it is not going to solve the problems we have. Mr. Speaker, the insecurity has become a very big menace in this county. And in my ward, I've been working closely with my area MP to see how to manage this insecurity. And as we all know, we are only allowed to do what we can do, and that is to erect the floodlights and the street lights. The other side of fighting insecurity is left with the MPs. But Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you that we sometimes, or myself sometimes, wonder why we put budget on the erection of the floodlights, but immediately after they have been erected, hardly 6 months, the lights are off. Mr. Speaker, this reminds me, immediately we came to this assembly, I made my personal effort and I worked with the department, and we realized in most of these floodlights, sometimes we just find a very minor technical problem, which if can be repaired immediately, then we could be having all the floodlights working. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this Department of Infrastructure, Energy, and other things, which is where energy is domiciled, must be having a problem. And I want to direct the chair of this committee. It's me who is speaking. I want to remind the chair who has just brought this report here that he has not done enough to make sure this department works for the people of Kisumu County. This is where the department where we've been having problem with the machine-based and the roads and everything. And sometimes I wonder why this department has, I don't know, few staff or maybe the expertise to work for the Kisumu County residents. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg members of this House to return this report to the department so that they can bring us or give us a tangible reason why these floodlights cannot work. Because I believe they are very, very minor problems, if I want to tell you. Very, very minor. Sometimes it's just a repair of like 3,000, 2,000, which I did myself. I put money in it, and then the floodlights could work. But you find it becomes a problem to this department that they cannot even want to meet you because they know what you are bringing to them is the floodlights of such and such a place is not working, or 3 or 4 are not working. They are very incapable. They are very incompetent, that is the word, and they should be made to work for Kisumu County residents. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I oppose the report.
Honorable Seth Okumu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to join my brother, the Honorable Zach Okoyo, in appealing to members to send the report back to the committee. Honorable Speaker, the reason why we want to do this, because we believe in members of that committee. And I'm reading this report, and I don't believe this report is coming from the chair, who is an engineer, because engineers are very action-oriented. I think he allowed the Honorable Oraro, Kelvin, the MCA of Kotua Central, to write the report on his behalf. And you know, lawyers with a lot of English and saying very little. I'm not sure about that, but
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
What is the point of order, Honorable Kelvin?
I think Honorable Seth should come out clear with his words, trying to demean the chair, my able chair, Engineer Ruben Rakwach, MCA for Kolua East, that this report that he has just read was not his own report. I think that is like trying to say that the chair was sleeping And for that, for him to say that, I would like him, as the Chair of Education, to kindly apologize to Honorable Ruben Akwach and use a better words to reject the report, rather than saying that this report, the Chair does not know anything about it, Mr. Speaker.
I want to give Honorable Seth, but I believe the chair is taking notes and he will be able to reply appropriately.
Speaker, I told you, I said I do not believe that this report came from my very good able chair, who is an engineer and very action-oriented. I believe now you get my point very, very clear. The Honorable Speaker, the report was requesting several things. Amongst them was the specific reasons behind the failure of streetlights and floodlights in Ahero and the entire county. And I believed I would have read the few floodlights that they've mentioned in Seme. They would have told us why they have failed. And in point number 3, the statement was requesting specific timelines for restoration of each floodlight, each individual lighting installation, ensuring transparency and accountability. Honorable Speaker, I believed in the report they would have told us out of the 381 floodlights that they were talking about, if 50 were not working, they would have given us a timeline on when they were going to work. That is what the statement asked. And if they didn't know, they would have told us that we do not know the timeline of when it's work. Honorable Speaker, I want to agree with Honorable Iko that we need these floodlights working. And telling us that for these floodlights to work, we must have an energy bill. And yet these floodlights were installed and were working without the energy bill is neither here or there. Honorable, I want to make it very clear that these floodlights can work with or without the energy bill if we mean well for this county. I believe the department has been left to sleep because we give them money, they award a tender, they don't follow up, they even give us that tender, and then we just sit back and tell them we need to give you more money. More money is how much money? How much money do we need to repair all these floodlights? Nobody knows, and we gave you a lot of time. And it's sad that this report is coming for the second time. And even now, we cannot mention even a single floodlight and how much we need to repair it. It means as the committee, we are sleeping and the department is equally sleeping. Other members, that's why I'm requesting these members of the committee to go back and get us this information so that we know what we are going to do and we can make recommendations that are very functional. My brother here alluded to the fact that the Committee on Infrastructure and Public Work refused to approve 35 million for EREC. I don't know how true is that. We are yet to see that when we are going for the other meetings to discuss the budget. But if that is true, then how sure are we that the committee will work on these floodlights if they don't want the EREC thing? Chair, it's a little bit serious, that claim. So, Honorable Member, I want to implore on all of you that we give the committee time. Maybe they were in a hurry. They can visit all the floodlights that are not working. They give us a report on each. They tell us what is wrong with each floodlight. They tell us how much amount money is needed. And then we can plan on how much money to allocate for these floodlights to work. Because what our people need back at home is for these floodlights to work so that they can have the issues of insecurity addressed both in our markets, in our streets, in our schools, and wherever we are putting these floodlights as a way of addressing issues of insecurity. Honorable members, that's my contribution. I reject. Thank you.
Honorable Komudo.
Many thanks, Honorable Speaker. Together with my colleagues, a good afternoon. I am privileged to stand up and oppose this report. I have said a good afternoon. That means also the same time, a good afternoon. So please, you check with your vocabularies or check with your proper English. A good morning is as good as good morning.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
What is the point of order?
The honorable members is not addressing your chair, he's addressing the members.
Honorable Kumudo, be guided as appropriate.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will be very fast because the debate has taken longer than necessary. I am a victim. I'm a victim of the so-called floodlights. Actually, you come to my place, they have been dead for a number of times. I want to believe that the reinvention here is not going to help us any longer. The honorable chair of the long named department needs to know that what we need is what is working for us, but not the reports being presented in the House every now and then, because it is not helping us. Honorable Speaker, I think it is high time we think also probably identifying where the problem is. The department, just as the name is very long, I think the duties are so long for them that they can. You are calling it infrastructure, energy, roads, and don't you think there's a problem somewhere here? We need to identify people with roads. Honestly, leave them to do the roads. They are going into energy. They have forgotten about the energy. We are coming here with reports every day. We are not helping anything with this kind of reports. So it is high time, let's forget about the reports, have the street lights working for us back at the ground. Many thanks, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Honorable James Omolo, had you speak? You had spoken. No, you spoke on the amendment. So, Honorable Millicent, I've seen you, but because of seniority, let me give Honorable James Omolo.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, I stand to support the report. Mr. Speaker, we have to move with speed to see that our floodlights are working. I can see in the report, mine are 5. And all of them I can confirm here have been off from 2021 till to date. It is that serious. It is that serious that if we have recommendations from the committee, let us support the committee so that we move, so that some of them can start lighting. And Mr. Speaker, I don't know how the REREC money is related to floodlight money. REREC is for lighting last miles, and this way we are talking about floodlights, which are very isolated in the villages, in the markets, in the streets. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to really urge members that let us support the committee with their recommendations which are there, and so that we just have to see these floodlights work. They have been off for a longer time. Maybe some of us don't have so many in terms of those which are off. But some of us who come from the village where almost all of them done during first term, second term, almost all of them are dead. And Mr. Speaker, that brings me to a question. If it is the matter of Kenya Power, that these floodlights were made to use KPLC grid, then it is high time we also think out of the box, we go solar way, so that they will be standalone, they are working on solar, and then they will be forever lighting up our villages and markets. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Millicent.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm standing to support what the committee came up with and the recommendations. For sure, it's so much embarrassing at the ground. You pass a market, it is dark. Wananchi will tell you, Mama, see how we are suffering. And it is not one, all the floodlights. The other time I can remember Chief Officer was here. And he admitted that nobody is ready to take, or people are not willing to bid for repairs. Reasons, county is not paying them. As an elected leader, I'm just concerned that suppose, even if we do an adequate budget, our contractor is going to bid. Now, if at all we put that money and they fail to bid, and chances are high that this one is going to be our last budget, are we allowed to do some small budget for floodlight renovations. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, my voice is not very good today. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with all those details as been explained by Honorable Seth, notwithstanding, Mr. Speaker, I don't think Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the report, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that shooting down this report will not solve the problems of the lights or the floodlights not working. In fact, it will prolong the problem, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, with all other issues that have been explained here, for example, failure to give the specific timelines on when this light will be on. Mr. Speaker, even when we shoot down this bill, this report, Mr. Speaker, will not address the problem, because the problem here is to have these lights working, Mr. Speaker. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I believe strongly that we should support, this House should approve this report so that the committee should move on, or the department should move on with now addressing the small nitty-gritties that have been highlighted in the debate here, so that they can have the lights working. Mr. Speaker, I think instead of throwing a lot of anger to the Committee of Infrastructure, I know it's very long, Mr. Speaker, some of this anger should be directed to the Committee of Implementation or Committee of Ward Development. Because, Mr. Speaker, if the Committee of the Ward Development would have been going around, because all these lights are working in the wards, they're not working in the ocean. So instead of the chairman of Ward Development coming here with the several English vocabularies, he should have told us how much he has gone to the wards to find out which lights are not working in the ward, so that that report can be shared. The same case with the Committee of Implementation, Mr. Speaker. Once a report is passed here in this House, it is the work of the Committee of the Implementation to follow up whether the implementation is taking place or not the committee of the parent committee, Mr. Speaker. Otherwise, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Yes, Honorable Karen.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Judging by the mood of the House, may I call the mover to reply?
Honorable Rakwach.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I still want to thank the members for deliberating on this report of the Infrastructure Committee on Streetlights and Floodlights. And Honorable Speaker, I wish to thank Honorable Boyton for supporting. And he raised a question that how does non-payment to the service providers affect the maintenance of the street lights. You know, if the service providers are not paid and now they fear rendering their services because they know it might take long, then obviously if you contracted somebody to go and maintain and he has refused to go, will that thing be maintained? So that is the problem that we have here, that we are trying to solve. And even employing the professionals to help in maintaining. If at all we are going to create a fund account for this maintenance, then remember, the professionals are there in the department, just as was observed. But These are engineers. We need technicians. We need the fundis, those electricians who will go and replace the fuses if the fuse is not functional. If there is a cable which has broken, then they can go and fix a new one. So that is what the committee really put across. With that fund account, we know there is a wage bill is a problem. But with that fund account, it will do away with the element of tax. Because now the department will not be paying tax. They will be buying directly without involving the service providers. When they buy directly and use it for maintenance of this light, then that element of tax which the service provider would have paid will be gone. Honorable Speaker, protect me. There are a lot of noise in the House, Honorable Speaker.
Proceed, you are protected, Honorable.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So, and at the same time, the element of profit making will also be a thing of the past, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Moses Ochele and Honorable Mildred. Honorable, I'm seeing Honorable Ochele pointing at Honorable Omoya. Please give time Honorable Rakwach to reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, employing technicians and even electricians, I think whatever cost, whatever money that will be paid to them can be got from this fund because of the profit element that shall have been saved and the tax that the service providers normally pay, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Ajombo talked of the bill. Why do we need the bill for this? You cannot create fund account without a bill. So that is the reason for this bill. And installation can be done without a bill because it is done by the contractors. But if we want to have an account whereby money is directed there and materials are bought anytime maintenance is being done, then there must be a bill for that. And we should not lament just the way Honorable Ouko put it. Because we were elected, our electorates are looking up to us to give them solutions to this problem. If we cannot get solutions here, then there is no reason for us being here, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Nyauka talked of 3 years failure to maintain these lights and the challenges that were there. I think in the report that I brought here, the challenge was here because there was an advert and a minimum of 7 bidders is needed for that contract to go through. Then only 2 turned up, and that is the report that I brought here. Then right now we are not talking of bidders not showing up for the bid after the advert. They showed up in this one, they took the contract, signed an agreement, then they decided to abandon the work. I think this one is a different thing. It is only that members read this report, but they forget very fast, Honorable Speaker. So if a contractor has refused, or a service provider has refused to do the work, what do? Do you arrest him? You can only terminate. And if you terminate, you are left without a service provider. How will that street light get maintained? This is the reason why we are calling for the formation for this bill, so that we form a fund account, and that is what is going to help us. Honorable Bilo Biambo talked of lack of seriousness in the committee. And he said that this report should not be passed, it should be shut down until the bill is seen here. If you shoot it down, you will have to wait for another 6 months. That is when it will come back here again, after which the bill will come. So that one will just add on more problems. And he was a member of the roads. He was a member of the Rose who was not even attending the meeting, so I don't know the lack of seriousness, is the seriousness that he wants in the committee. That's why he was removed from that committee, Honorable Speaker. I don't know how serious he is in those other committees. In fact, he should be investigated, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Lumumba, thank you for supporting. Honorable Uko, thank you for supporting. But these same recommendations people are talking about, we have never recommended a bill forming the fund account to maintain this light so that it be done internally. If there is anybody with that recommendation in the past report, then please adduce it here, Speaker. Honorable Emily said that she disagrees with the report because the report has good recommendations and no action. If we are debating the report, we are not the recommendation, the report and its recommendations. We are not debating the actions. If the report has got good recommendations, why not pass it and follow and make a follow-up later? Do you want a report with bad recommendations? Because you are shooting down the report because it is a good report with good recommendations and no actions. My work is to bring the report here. It is not to go and work and not to go and work in the street on Honorable Speaker. And I brought the report, and they think the report is good with good recommendations, and they are not passing it. So we're shooting it down. Make those streetlights work. Let us shoot it down and see if the streetlight will work because it has been shut down, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Roro, thank you for supporting this report with proper explanation as a serious member who normally attends meetings and contributes in the meetings effectively, Honorable Speaker. I thank you, my brother. Honorable Pamela said the report is appearing for the second time, and that shows the seriousness of this report. Since we need, that is sure that we need something to be done on these street lights. And that is why we have to really do something. We have to pass this report, do a follow-up, and we do it collectively. It is a collective responsibility. You know, our role is legislation, representation, and oversight. Who do you want to oversight for you? It is only Honorable Ruben Rakwach. We were all elected here to come and do those three roles. And it is a collective responsibility that we have to do together. Honorable Eiko, thank you very much for supporting. And remember, when we talk of adequate allocation, it is this energy, it is under O&M. The maintenance is under O&M. O&M has only been given 39 million, and it is in the ceiling. It is in the ceiling. That is why, as a committee, we really prayed here that the ceiling for the roads be raised, and nothing happened. Now the ceiling is 39. This is what is going to do all the roads that we are going to propose. Is it enough? It is up for the budget committee, because now the document is with the budget committee to decide if 39 million will be enough to implement all that and maintain the street lights. Honorable Okoyo, I don't think opposing this report will solve your problem, because you are saying passing it will not solve the problem. So if opposing it will solve the problem, then I urge you to oppose it today so that tomorrow your problems can get solved. And remember, you are also in this committee of infrastructure. You cannot even remember the name, you say it is so long. And that one tells you how not serious you are in this committee. Honorable Millicent Omuya, thank you for supporting. Honorable Nditi, thank you for supporting. Honorable Molo, thank you for supporting and even suggesting that we go the solar direction. That one we have already started, and even the lights that are being installed now are solar lights. And that one shows you how serious my committee is together with the department. Honorable Komudo, he was even out of order addressing the honorable members. He needs proper induction, Honorable Speaker. This is the chair of Ward Development Committee. Everything is done at the ward. I think this financial year is yet to bring even a statement of a report. Even a paragraph of a report. If you check his attendance list very well, you will realize that this is a committee which is dead, which is not even meeting. And he comes here and he wants to demean other chairs, Honorable Speaker.
Point of order, Honorable Speaker. Point of order. I think
the member is replying. What is the point of order?
That is why I talked of serious induction to the honorable member, Honorable Speaker. I think you should do something. We need 10 days in Mombasa for induction, Honorable Speaker. These things are done in the ward. In fact, at his fingertips, he should even have the list of those street lights and floodlights which are not working within our wards. But when you ask him today, he doesn't even know the street lights or even the floodlights in his wards which are non-functional. I tell you, Honorable Speaker, we need to do something on that ward development committee, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, I thank the honorable members for thoroughly debating this report, Honorable Speaker. And this one shows that Honorable Speaker really went through this report and they read it with a lot of interest, Honorable Speaker. And I want to really implore on the members that we should not, I know attention is on the roads, that sometimes we forget the floodlights and the street lights. But this one is equally important because it impacts the safety of our people, honorable members and honorable Speaker and honorable members at night. So I implore on you, I request that we pass it so that we follow up. And then this idea of throwing the blame on the implementation committee every now and again, I think we should stop it. This is a report of the House. The resolution belongs to this House, and we should do follow-up as members of the County Assembly. Let us support the implementation committee. Let us support, because if we support the implementation committee, do our collective responsibility, then what will come out of it, it is for the good of all of us and the electors who elected us here, people of the great county of Kisumu whom we represent here. Thank you. I reply, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, a motion on adoption of the report of the Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of the non-functional street lights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the county as a whole has been moved, seconded, debated, and as per our standing order, it is time that I put a question. And I put as many of the opinion that the motion adoption of report of the Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the county as a whole, as have been presented, seconded, debated, be approved. Say aye. Aye. As many of the opinions say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion adoption of the report of Infrastructure, Energy and Public Works Committee on the matter of the non-functional streetlights and floodlights in Ahero Ward and the county as a whole have been adopted today, Wednesday, the 4th of June, 2025 at 16:31 hours. And I direct that the recommendations of the report be communicated to relevant sections and departments for purposes of implementation. Next order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and honorable members. There's no any other business to be transacted in the order paper.
Members can be upstanding. Honorable members, you can be upstanding. Order, honorable members. There being no any other business in the order paper, the House stands adjourned until tomorrow, Thursday, the 5th of June, 2025 at 2:30 p.m.